hello everyone. Welcome back to the Triforce podcast.
Wow.
I'm a little bit hoarse today.
You're nice. Nice. Me too.
He's got the vid.
Just because I've got a bit of COVID.
You went away last week, and that's all you've got to say for yourself. You came
I had
back
a
with COVID.
busy couple weeks. Yeah. Do you want to hear about it? Well, what have you guys done that's interesting?
Were you swapping fluids with somebody last week or what?
Sadly, no.
Oh man, how did you manage to get COVID then? Like, what you just?
Well, I did a lot. I've done a lot of things, and a lot of the things I went to, people had COVID at. It turns out.
Oh, okay, sure.
I could be the carrier, although I don't think so.
Right.
I could be patient
you're telling me
zero.
that you went to a whole bunch of things, and at one of them you must have acquired COVID.
Mhm.
But you'd have to hope it was the last one, because that way you didn't give COVID to everybody else.
That's the great fear.
You might have been spreading yourself.
Yeah,
Precisely,
It
that's what I'm
happens. There's
saying.
no way. It's not like something you're doing deliberately.
Well, no.
No, as soon as
Let's
I
hope,
went into the office, I started feeling a bit ill. So I was like, I'll take a COVID test. I took a COVID test. It was fine. But I was like, I'm not feeling great though, so I'm going to be careful. And then the next day I took another test and then I was positive. So passed my test, but then I failed my test.
Right.
How does it work? Pass or fail?
You passed.
Anyway.
Well, whatever.
But have you two done anything interesting? Let's start with you guys.
Sounding good there. Sounding good.
Hang on. What happened? What was last week?
Let me check the calendar.
week? No, you know what? I didn't do anything because we're just like we're just settling back in from being away and stuff. So
From
last
being
week,
at Disney.
last week I'm just did nothing.
And you're going back
Well,
to Disney, I hear.
We're going back in the summer. Yeah,
That'll be great.
I
Summer
think
trip.
it'll be better in the summer. Yeah, I mean it's nice that we went and my kids had so much fun that they are so desperate to go again. I think that's nice, but
I remember going to a water park when I was in France, and I think it was the summer, but it might not have been. Anyway, it was a cold day, and that's like not a cold day, but not a hot day, I guess.
No,
you know.
Yeah.
And when you're going to a water park, you want it to be as hot as possible because we went to one on holiday, and it was great. We had a great day out. I loved it. I haven't been for a while, but man, it's just when it's really hot, and it just makes it actually pleasant to go into these freezing plunge pools or sit or queue up shivering on these like rides.
Yes.
Oh man. So anyway, I'll get started, shall I? So the first thing I did was I went to a Magic the Gathering event. It was like a brand deal in Cardiff.
I watched the vid.
It was a bit cringe.
No, the video was really good. Well done, Joe.
Joe's a master.
Joe did the video. Really
of
shot
making-
it very nicely.
making us look
good
fun.
content, and I liked it. Very good.
Yeah,
well
we
edited.
made lots of. He cut out all the rude jokes about whales, which I made throughout the trip.
Why would you do that?
Were you making rude jokes about whales?
They can take it. You know, I was just casually
Until they
making
can't.
jokes.
Did you ever think of it that way? No.
Well, yeah, I suppose one day it'll slap me in the face, won't it? But it was a lovely time. Everyone's nice in Wales. Yeah, got there. It was already basically dark. Walked around for a bit. Went to this event. There wasn't really many that many people there. Like 60 people, kind of in the tournament.
Yeah,
and it was quite small. My popularity has waned to the point where, you know, I only got recognized by about 4 or 5 other people there. Everyone else was just like, "Oh, you're famous, are you?"
I saw my
what's your
favorite
YouTube
part of the
channel?
video, Lewis, was when you stood in the middle of a room and said, "Do you know who I am?" to some
Well-
off-camera person, and I thought,
Well,
this is desperate.
This is. I've been dreading this day.
It's come this far. Yeah, that's right. I'm a legacy YouTuber now.
Legacy. An old bastard is what it is. Just say it. You're an old bastard.
Just an old has-been.
Didn't get recognized for the rest of the week, so you know, had to get it somewhere. Anyway, it's a nice time. Magic the Gathering, you know, can't complain. Got to play the new expansion, which is quite fun. It's all Jurassic Park themed.
That puts me off. I
like
the Lord
it.
of
I
the
like
Rings
that
stuff
bit.
I don't mind because you know it's still fantasy and everything, but I always thought that.
Oh, come on, Jurassic Park is also fantasy.
But
it's
there's
no other way to look at it, really. It's pure fantasy.
Pure fantasy. It's just ludicrous. It's really not science fiction. Let's put it that way. I just seeing like some lion-headed warrior and some priestess of the moon and like an animated tree and like a deadly snake, and then there's fucking Jeff Goldblum on the card. I was like, I don't want this. I can skip this.
Yeah, I like Jeff though. I'm a big Jeff fan.
He's a Jeff fan.
He's a
I'm a Jeff. I met him, didn't I? I got to meet him, so that like increases the his Then again, I'm sure. Anyway, so then after that, the next day I went to this mega game. It's called.
Yeah, I heard about this.
It's called Watch the Skies. I've been to one before about 10 years ago with Tom, and it's kind of like a model UN meets a little bit of like LARPing kind of thing. So everyone goes along. So I went along with Mike, and originally Ravs was supposed to come, but he wasn't feeling very well. So we roped in two of Mike's friends at the last minute, and we went up as we were Team UK. So we were actually playing as the UK, which is kind of weird because everyone else is playing as Germany, France, America, India, South Africa, all the big nations, right? And we're supposed to be sort of more responsible as the UK. But I thought, no, sorry, I'll just explain the whole point. The whole point is that there's a series of crises to do with aliens turning up, a little bit like XCOM. The aliens come to Earth, and we're like, how are we going to deal with them? And they're landing, they're attacking and abducting things and doing all sorts of stuff.
They're coming in hot, like they're not. There's no friendly alien lads.
Well, they can't really talk to you at the start. So they have to like abduct humans to learn the language, basically, or infiltrate countries secretly. But you can their technology isn't that far ahead of ours that you can't see them. We've got like an XCOM in each nation. Do you know what I mean? That is able to see the scouts coming in and shoot them down and stuff. So you can leave them to just do whatever they want to do, but you don't know what they're doing. They could be good, they could be bad, they could be like different factions of them. God knows what. So it's trying to unpick. It's a lot of information, a lot of time. There's a plague going on. Is that caused by the aliens? Is that just natural thing? There's like, some because the aliens have kind of stirred up the world, right? And so there's lots of states are suddenly wanting to get nuclear weapons and are sort of trying to get in with other. So there's a lot of crazy shit going on, and you're there trying to figure out what to do and try and role play as the UK.
Right.
So I decided. I spoke to the guys. I was like, who would be the most xenophobic person to lead the UK through a crisis?
Nigel Farage, probably.
Correct.
Yes. Gosh, yeah. I was going to say, it was on the tip of my tongue.
Well, at time of recording, he's just on this, I was going to say Love Island, but he's not on that, is he?
It's Celebrity Jungle, maybe. I don't know.
Celebrity Jungle.
No, he's on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, and he was paid an eye-watering sum for his appearance.
Yes. I was decided to be Nigel Farage. I got a blue suit with a white shirt, red tie, a little British pin badge, and I just did his voice the whole time, like a kind of, no. Here I am, protecting us in the face of these alien invaders coming over here, abducting our cows and taking them off to God knows where. Good British cows. I want space to be like the English Channel. Nothing's coming over it. This kind of really anti-alien rhetoric, right?
Yeah.
That pissed off just about everyone because it's full of people like millennials who kind of low-key hate Nigel Farage. So I think I'd irritated everyone on my team and everyone I'd met at this point by doing this sort of bit because everyone's taken it quite seriously.
You were annoying. You were
just sort of
being
stuck
annoying.
to it.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I was being very annoying. I brought with me a load of British standard fare, right? Like bourbons, custard creams, and some Greggs sausage rolls, right?
Okay.
And so I was giving those out, being like, well, here you go, British trade. We need to get, since Brexit, all this. I'm giving it the whole Nigel Farage bollocks. And I'm in the UN Council meeting, and the guy on my team calls me out and is like, come out quick. We need you for something. I was like, this is very unorthodox.
They're going to kill you, mate. You're going to get assassinated.
And so my team had come up with this plan, which was basically to be the first people to have first contact with the aliens, right? Because we'd found out very early that the aliens were on the moon. And we had this limited information. They were potentially friendly. Okay. So they spent all of their resources retrofitting an ICBM, a missile, nuclear missile, into a little sort of smart car sized delivery system, right?
Wait, stop. What do you mean?
So they took the nuclear weapon out of the ICBM and put me in it. No, we did, the UK team.
So they put you in an ICBM.
They sent Nigel Farage to the moon with some gifts for the aliens, right?
But you can't just fire an ICBM at the moon and land it.
No. Well, no, but we had spent all of our technology doing that to make it into a moon.
To make that possible somehow.
So you're going to slam him into the moon?
No, send him to visit the moon where the aliens are.
I don't even know if we have a missile capable of getting that far.
It's far.
I know, we spent our resources developing it. Sorry, do you understand? So all of our resources for the first couple of years of this game went into developing a moon rocket. You developed a moon
rocket. All right, that's okay. That makes more sense. You confused me. Carry on.
Sorry, P-Flax. So I get sent to the moon, right? And I get out, and there's an alien there, and
what was his name? Or her name?
Well, they didn't have... So the aliens are all played by another group, right, who are sectioned off. They've got their own tasks, their own goals. They don't know whether they're good or bad to start with or whatever, and they're given more jobs as the thing goes on. Anyway, I get into this room. There's an alien there, and he's like looking at me and sort of holding me there, and he can't talk to me. And I'm like, okay, fine, what's going on here?
Are you Lewis Brindley from the Yogscast? Oh.
No, he doesn't. Oh my God. Anyway, finally, he pushes this curtain aside, and I go in there, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to get to meet all the aliens, right? I'm going to get to meet everyone. It's amazing. And already there is the Prime Minister of America, the Prime Minister of India, the Prime Minister of Germany, having this great little chat with all the aliens, right? And the GM pokes me on the shoulder and says, I can let you meet the aliens, but you can't speak any of their language. And so it turned out that the aliens had visited these other people, picked them up and brought them to the moon, right? For a special meeting. And they'd spent all of their research trying to translate alien language. I got to the moon, didn't speak a word of the language.
Can I say, this is
much like real Nigel
This
Farage.
Is a perfect UK piece of RP.
Yes.
All the big countries leave us out because we're shit. We think we're super important lads. We're going to go to the moon and meet the aliens. Then we waste our time building a rocket that barely works. And who do we send? Nigel Farage. This is literally the real world. This could happen in the real world. I love it.
It is. I even had to roll a dice. They said to me, that if you roll less than a 4 on this dice, your rocket's not going to make it to the moon, and you're going to die. And then you'll have to... I don't know what we're going to do with you. So I rolled a dice, and I fortunately rolled a 4. Luckily, just made it up. Anyway, so I get to this room, and of course, then then they shuttle off all the other folks all go back home after their level of meeting, and I go up to the aliens, and they're all surrounding me, and of course we can't communicate. So I just did this thing where I was like, Nigel here from UK. Friends, we are your friends. You, us, trade. Like the most basic, speak louder if you don't speak the language stuff. Which was all very amusing to them and me, I assume. And then afterwards, the games master said, right, well, you're now trapped on the moon, obviously. And you're going to have to figure out how to get the aliens to take you back home. So of course, a turn or two later, the aliens finally figure out that me sat upstairs in this alien bit with them is getting weird, and they take me back home. And all the team, Mike and Eddie and everyone are like, oh, how'd it go? What's all the intel? Are we gonna get trade with the aliens? How far ahead are we? And I was like, guys, not only were the Americans and the Germans and the Indians here half an hour ago, but I've been stuck there and I've done nothing. Do you know what I mean? It was. They were all so excited because they thought they were so ahead with this intel, and we were just massively behind. God. And it stayed that way for the whole game. So yeah, irrelevant, like you said, full on UK roleplay. That
really is good.
It was a great.
How long did you spend doing this?
It started at 10 and it went on till about 6.
Oh my god, man!
So it was the whole day.
I can imagine Sip just being like, "How could you do that for 8 hours?" Like, I'm just waiting for Sips to not.
I'm
be interested
thinking
in
it.
this.
I haven't said
Well,
it,
I know
but
you're
I
thinking it. I
am
can tell.
thinking that. Yeah,
I've seen you play a game for longer than 8 hours, though. So
yeah, I know,
it's
but
not
like,
that.
Not with other people.
There's
come
lots
on,
going on. There's lots going on, and it's a lot of interdynamics. Because most of the day we were just trying to find out whether the aliens were actually good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
And what their intentions were, because it's all very hard to tell if they're just, making friends, and then because they wanted us to disarm all of our nuclear weapons. You see, that was what they really wanted, and it was like, we don't want to do that now.
What else did you get up to? You did that. You went to. You did magic. You did big.
So I
game.
did the magic, and it was exhausting, right? It's because we got stuck on a train with some crazy woman at like. So when we came back from the magic the night before, we got on the last train at 11:30 back to Bristol, and it was delayed for an hour. And every 10 minutes, this woman would kick off. She would absolutely go crazy. She would like every time there would be a message coming over the tannoy. It was like she had Tourette's. That a message would come over the tannoy, and it was like, "Sorry, there are some trespassers on the line. We cannot move. We'll be hopefully going as soon as we can." Anyway, every time that happened, she would go, "You fucking bitch!" Like she would yell this really, "You fucking bitch!" Like kind of really angry, like about her. Like I don't know how I'm gonna get home. Fucking hell, I'm gonna miss the last bus. Fuck! Like kind of this whole thing where she would have this tirade. Okay?
Right.
And it was mental.
So what did she look like?
She just looked like a kind of mid to late 30s white woman.
Was she attractive?
Not really. Quite
was
short.
Was she dressed nicely?
Not really. Kind of tracksuity.
Did she look drunk?
No, didn't look drunk. Just looked like just red faced. Quite short. Quite, I don't know, like I don't know, a bit of a puggy face,
right,
like a pug.
I see.
Anyway, she's kicking off every so often, and I'm just like ignoring it. But this other woman on the train who is drunk is not taking it.
I see. Sorry, I'm just unwrapping my new coat. Carry on.
After about
wow.
I want to hear about the woman kicking off. Keep going.
We were delayed a whole hour.
Oh my god. Was the train just sat there?
Yeah, it's now 12:30. We're still in Cardiff. It's like, okay, we're gonna get back to Bristol at like fucking, 2:30 in the morning at this point. So it's like pretty fucking late.
What were you doing?
And I'm just on my phone or whatever, chatting to Duncan or whatever. Duncan's just hanging out. Anyway, she's kicking off again, and this other woman starts kicking off as well, and. It's kind of like a mirror.
A nice coat.
It's kind of like a mirror. Like
right, my new coat is a success.
Oh.
Carry on. Love it.
What does it look like?
Lots of pockets. Let me just get up and do a 12 for Mrs. F. You guys carry on.
That's all right.
Okay, keep going.
This other woman on the train starts saying the same stuff, being like, "No, you fucking bitch. No, you fucking bitch." And it's like, they're doing their best, like almost like standing up for the railway, but also being like, "You're disturbing all of the other people in here. Why are you being such a mouthy bitch?" And the other one's like, "Shut up, you mouthy bitch. Like you're the mouthy bitch." Like they're going at each other.
Wait, was this like
hard.
role player? Are these people actually fighting at this point?
These people are actually fighting. Well, there's these two women. They're kind of yelling at each other.
Wait, was this
at
the Magic the Gathering event?
No, this is on the train on the way home.
Oh.
At 12:30 in the morning. Are you either of you paying attention to the story?
I don't think Flax
Oh my
is.
god!
He's not even. At
I don't know
his
why
computer.
I'm here. You're tabbed out in a completely different fucking ignoring the story. Period is fucking trying to coat on and show this to his wife.
I'm trying to get back into the zone. I'm clawing my way back into the zone.
It doesn't matter. Anyway, we got back fucking really late,
right?
And then I was off really early. Then I was off anyway. I fucking
okay. So you're on a train getting back from the Magic the Gathering event, and these women are fighting on the train.
It was like I'd gone into a place where I was kind of disembodied, like I was having like detached from my body, because there were these two people about a meter away from me yelling into each other's faces,
right?
And they were like the same person.
Well, maybe they were twin sisters. Were they both women?
Well, I think one of them was mentally ill, and the other one didn't realize the other one was mentally ill and just thought she was a drunk bitch. But one of them was a drunk bitch. It was crazy. So they had a fight. Eventually, the boyfriend of one of them was like, come on, let's just fucking go down to another carriage. And then we got back home, eventually. And then I was up early for this thing. And then the next day after the mega game thing, I went on holiday to Gran Canaria.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Kieran, are you back?
Yeah, the coat was really, it's a success. I'm very happy with it.
Good.
Thank you. Good. And I went on holiday to Gran Canaria. So, but the plane was very early. So again, I hadn't had any sleep, hardly, over the last couple of days. Got to the airport and met Oz, her mum, and Oz's partner, who I was going on holiday with.
Right.
I get to the airport. I'm like fucking exhausted. And I sit down and I'm like, oh, hi, nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. Because I've not met Oz's mum before. And they're all like a pint deep. It's 7 a.m. They're surrounded by empty pint glasses. They're like halfway through their second pint.
If you're from up north,
7 in the morning.
Northern viewers will attest.
Bristol Airport.
If you're going on a flight, you're drinking. Whatever time of day it is. That's just how they roll.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went on holiday. It was honestly really, really nice. I was going to go away anyway. But when I was speaking to Oz, she was like, "Oh, I'm going. You might as well just tag along." So
I was worried for a second that Oz and her partner were going to go away, and you were like, "Oh, I'll come too." Which I thought, I don't think Lewis is that socially awkward. But if her mum's already going, why not chuck a Lewis Brindley into the mix?
Exactly.
I think that makes sense.
And it worked quite well, actually.
Yeah,
because
they can go off.
Yeah, the boys can do stuff, the girls can do stuff.
Oh,
and
I see.
The couples can do stuff. Yeah.
What did you get up to with Ozie's mum? Did you go and look at a museum or so? There's not much on Canaria, Gran Canaria. You can go and look at the volcano. Did you do that?
There's not a volcano there? On there.
Yeah, there is.
Well, it's not like the other two.
It's like a caldera, an old caldera that's collapsed.
Yes,
we went and looked at that. It's very cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. The whole place is cool. It's worth going to the Canaria. It's super hot and super nice. And we were in an all-inclusive hotel, which I hadn't realized until we got there. Which I'm fine with, but I've never done before, and I'm not sure I actually am fine with. It's a bit weird
Why?
being an all-inclusive. Well, it's a bit like it's a bit British holiday maker, non-stop drinks.
That your middle-class instincts kicked in, and you were like, "Oh, this looks like something for common people."
I guess it's just something I've never done. Well,
yeah.
I guess partly the thing is you think, oh, well, I'm paying for this, so I might as well stay here every day, right? Rather than going out, which I'm used to. But as a result, because it's an all-inclusive place, there aren't really anywhere to go out to nearby. There's no real restaurants around.
Because it tends to say to me, I intend to sit by the pool for 12 hours a day and then just drink myself into a stupor and then repeat that for a week or 10 days. That's what I think.
Well, that's exactly what Oz, her partner, and her mum did. But they're also very high functioning alcoholics, so they were able to kind of just roll with it the whole time.
Unfair and untrue, I would suggest.
They were drinking so much.
That's holiday,
and
mate.
Still we were able to. We did a lot of stuff. We went to like a little bird sanctuary thing, which was really awesome.
Yeah.
They've got this really cool...
Were they drunk the whole time at the bird sanctuary as well?
I think they had a couple. Yeah, they had a couple. Why not? And, it was honestly, Oz's mum is like a sort of cross between Oz and Booth. Booth is like, she's got the 80s TV show movie references, but she's also... just very like outgoing and funny and very kind of just sees a positive in everything. Like, it was really fun hanging out with her, but she would do the craziest things as well. So I'll just tell you one story that I told on on the other on Simon's podcast as well. But
you're telling your other stories on different podcasts now.
It's the same story. I just want you to hear it.
And doing it first.
That's
just want to hear their podcast's out later than ours though. This is out. This is a Christmas one.
Oh,
it's
right.
out in a couple of weeks. So this will go out first. Anyway, so we go to we're in Maspalomas, right, which is like the Blackpool resort kind of thing. It's got kebab shops and strip clubs and loads of British tourists and it's crap. And we're out walking around, and there's all these Nigerian bracelet sellers and tat sellers out there, right, on the front, kind of hassling tourists about selling. You know the ones, right?
I know the ones.
Anyway, we're walking along, and Ozie's mum sees one in like a Christmas hat, and he's like, turns to me, he's like, oh my God, it's the chicken nugget man. It's chicken nugget man. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's a chicken nugget man. And I'm like, what are you saying to me? And so she runs off after him. And I look at Oz and they're like, they shrug at me. And then they go into a shop. And I was like, I guess this is my responsibility, right, to now find out what the fuck is going on. So Oz's mum has run off and trying to flag down this Nigerian tat seller who's walking the other way. And when he turns and sees her coming at him, he sort of looks behind him. He's like, because no one has ever flagged down a Nigerian tat seller before, right? No. Ever. They're normally, it's the opposite, right? They're told to go away in no uncertain terms. So he's a bit shocked by this lady approaching him, incredibly excited. And he doesn't speak a word of English. So she's just saying, are you the chicken nugget man? Will you sing me the song? I'll buy something if you sing me the song. And this whole thing, it's like he's so confused. He doesn't understand what the chicken nugget man is. But despite his response of blank-faced, Osie's mum just powers through. Lady is like, you are the chicken nugget man, aren't you? Like, she will not take no for an answer.
What does this mean?
I don't know.
I was having like an out-of-body experience again. I was like watching this thing happen right in front of me, like the most awkward interaction ever. And then she's like, I'll buy something. And then she drops her bag. Everything spills out of it. You know, she's like rummaging around trying to find €5 to buy some tat off this guy, saying that, oh, just wait. He'll sing the song. Lewis, can you get a picture of me with the chicken nugget man? Could you film him singing the chicken nugget song? All this, right? It keeps going. And I'm just like floating above all of this, like so bewildered. Anyway, it turns out there's a TikTok, right, where this guy on a different island who looks nothing like this guy, right? I should add.
Oh my God.
Does like a viral TikTok thing that Osie's mum had saw and thought it was this guy. And she was utterly convinced that it was this guy. Even when we were walking away, she was like, I'm so sad he didn't sing the song. Oh, she's gone a bit, I keep doing the scouse, but she's not scouse, just northern. Anyway, it was so fun. It was so good. It was such a funny moment. And we were all, laughing about it afterwards because she couldn't take herself seriously either. She was like, I can't believe I reacted like that, But she's just so genuine about the things that and I don't know. There were plenty of moments like that. Like she's
there were more moments
story.
like that.
Well,
please do tell us more.
The classic stories with her is that she falls over a lot. Now, Oz will tell you this story, but during COVID, Oz had just come in from like a long day of work, and this was back before Osie was making content. I think she was working at the pub or something. I can't remember where she worked. Anyway, she come back. She was exhausted. She sat down on the sofa, and her mum came in on roller skates and was like, "Look what I found." And as Osie turned around to say, "Be careful," lady went arse over tit, literally smacked her head on the floor, and was basically knocked unconscious.
Was this before or after the Nugget Man incident?
This was in about 2020.
This was pre-Nugget Man.
Yeah, well.
So this is during COVID. So they took her to the hospital and she lost her sense of smell, unrelated to COVID, during COVID. Anyway, she hasn't got a sense of smell because of that, right? But she falls over all the time. So one time she works at the NHS. She had just been at a do where you had to pay like £1 and you get like a cup of tea and a biscuit or whatever.
Yeah.
And so she goes out into this car park, fell over, and the way she tells the story is she broke her biscuit when she fell over, right?
Is that her ass?
No, it's just the biscuit she got. It's just the biscuit that she was carrying.
Right.
I thought it was like northern slang.
Well, she had
exactly
like in her hand. Part of the £1 deal.
I brought me biscuit.
Exactly.
You wouldn't believe it. I brought me biscuit.
Exactly.
I was outside having walkabout. I fell over and broke my biscuit.
This is it. You can do it better than I can.
Did you have to go to the hospital for a biscuit? No, just get another one out the tin.
Exactly. This is exactly what
I would
she's
have
like.
to be there and just re-say everything that she says in my stupid northern accent.
Oh my God, it's so good. Holidays are all about connecting with loved ones, and there's no better way to do that than with a digital picture frame from Aura Frames.
Yeah, boy!
Wirecutter called it the best digital photo frame, and it's easy to see why. You can upload your favorite pics of the family to one frame and relive all those happy moments again. Share big news, like a new addition to the family, maybe?
Wait, you're pregnant, Lewis?
No, it could be like a dog or something. It doesn't have to be.
You bought a dog?
No, I haven't.
Oh my god, send me some pictures. I'll get those on my Aura frame.
You know, there's another feature on the frame. You can like share it with people, and they get the pictures you upload to it to their frame. I'm sure it's something that you can do, because we've done that now with like we sent Aura frames when we got sponsored by Aura. They sent us some frames to try out. We've given them to like everyone in our family.
Are you saying to me, if I bring my Aura frame over to Lewis's house, I could sync up my Aura frame with his and steal his pictures, and then I could take mine home?
Remotely.
You could just send pictures to my Aura frame, but please don't.
Oh, the potential is there.
Oh my god.
Honestly, it's fantastic.
It's actually a lot more wholesome.
They
than
are
that.
really, really good.
Yes, give the perfect gift this holiday season by visiting auraframes.com today and get $30 off their best-selling frames with the code Triforce. That's AURA frames.com. Promo code Triforce. Thank you very much.
On with the show.
Can I just wind this all back to the Nigerian tat seller?
Sure.
And on the topic of Disney, which I went to recently, as you both well know, I was surprised when we arrived at just outside the Walt Disney Park, Disneyland Paris Park. We arrived by train, like I told you guys last time. So the train station is basically smack in the middle of the whole thing, but it's not technically on the Disneyland grounds, right? There's like a security thing that you have to go through or whatever. So just outside of all the security, I was surprised to see many Nigerian tat sellers and ticket scalpers for Disneyland. But
where you think Mickey would be there rounding them up?
No, not even. I just don't know who in their right mind makes the trip out there
without a ticket
to flag down a scalper. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Like, it's not. It's like an hour train from the center of Paris. I mean, and any other way you're getting there is probably by train or by taxi or whatever.
Do you suppose?
So you're turning up there with nothing, hoping.
Yeah, but now that you've seen them, you know they exist, right?
Somebody is out there scalping tickets to Disneyland.
I guess you've seen them once. Now, next time you go, you'll say, "Oh, let's not book. We'll just get some tickets from the guys." But are they legit tickets, or are they just selling you a piece of paper that has a misspelled Disney on it?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I didn't pursue it any further, but it was like there was a lot of them. Like, we were like, no, sorry, no. Like, there was like tons of them, like swarming.
Have you guys
people.
ever bought tickets from a tout?
Never.
Not even once in my life. No.
I have done it multiple times.
Right.
Right.
Because if sometimes you'll go to a gig like this, it used to be in person. Now it's all done online.
Yeah.
There's all these scam ticket reselling sites and all the rest of it. But we used to go to, let's try and get in, and you just go to the gig, and if you don't get in, you just go to the pub. You go there and you stand around and you'll see these guys, tickets for tonight? You're like, yeah, we need 2. And they'll quote you a price, but they don't want to do the sale there. You go to they'll sometimes say, all right, meet me in this pub in 10 minutes and I'll sell you the tickets. You're like, okay. Because if you're in public changing money, I think they could get in trouble. So
I think that's just too hectic for me, all that. I'd rather just book in advance.
It's a gamble.
Yeah.
But every gig we used to go to, me and my best mate Simon used to go to gigs a lot in London, and a lot of the ones that we went to, you'd have to buy tickets from touts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've also sold tickets to scalpers as well. It doesn't feel good, but when you're right there and your mate messages like, I can't make it, you just sell it face or whatever, and then they'll resell it for double and job done.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but I don't mind a couple of tickets being sold by scalpers because it can actually be quite useful.
I get it. Like, if you're selling a ticket because somebody couldn't make it or whatever,
right?
There's a Seinfeld episode about that.
There is
right?
indeed.
Yeah,
with the opera.
But I get it. If you're just trying to quickly sell a ticket because you're not intending to go or whatever.
But the mass purchasing of all the tickets
Yeah.
and then reselling them. That happens.
Yeah,
These companies
that's a
like
weird one.
Ticketmaster don't give a shit
But,
because there's no incentive. If someone comes and says I want to buy your entire stock, you're gonna go okay, that's it. Why would you stop?
And for a show, I get it, but like, I mean, Disneyland tickets are not cheap. They're not cheap. I mean, I feel like it's the kind of place you go and you're somewhat organized before you get there.
Yeah,
even just somewhat. Like you're not. Oh yeah, I've got a stick with cloth at the back of it. I've just got off the train and I really have to get into Disney.
Right.
Where's the scalpers? Like it's
yeah.
Fuck me. Like I just don't. I can't imagine that. I'd love to hear from somebody who's ever bought a ticket to Disney from a scalper.
Was it cheaper than it would have been?
I would love
Did you just gamble that there would, for some reason, like
it just
does
makes
it sell
no
out?
sense to me at all, but
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
sure
weird one.
it must happen because those guys would
I
not be there
assume
if it didn't happen.
It must be for all of the people who forgot and are desperate to go in.
That's not that many people.
Oh my God, that can't be that many
extra people, right? It's like I think if you've got like some extra friends coming with you who've turned up, you're like, oh, okay, let's try and get a couple of extra tickets.
So let's run through that scenario, Lewis. I and my family are going to go to Euro Disney, okay? We book the train trip, we book the ferry, we book accommodation, and on the day we're going to leave, you turn up and we decide, yeah, you should come too. And we'll just hope to find tickets along the way. That doesn't seem likely. That's not a common occurrence. Like, the question is not, is there ever a market for someone to last minute need a ticket? There might be. But these guys are there, presumably, all the time selling these tickets. Who's buying them? Who's suddenly on a whim decides to go to Disney World? Like, that's such a weird thing.
It is. I mean,
is it billionaires? Is it
could be. Well, I was just talking.
They need these guys.
I was just talking to Flax before we started. There is a heliport at Disneyland Paris, so maybe they arrive by helicopter. And they seek out scalpers immediately because they're like, this is a last minute thing. Tarquin needs to see Disneyland. We're in Paris for business, and we've arrived here by helicopter. And
Lewis,
I need a ticket.
if you had to fly from London City Airport to Glastonbury, how much do you think it would cost to charter the flight?
On a helicopter, a chartered helicopter.
A helicopter.
So let's do this. First of all, what do you think the flight time is?
From Glastonbury to London City, probably like
in a chopper?
45 minutes.
Yeah,
it's 35 minutes.
That's
apparently.
nothing.
Okay.
That's nothing.
And
that's how long it took them to get to Jurassic Park in the choppers, pretty much.
Per passenger, I'd say $5,000.
Oh gosh, and how much to?
He's done
to
this
charter
before.
it?
He's done this before.
The whole thing, maybe the whole thing, like $10,000, maybe
okay,
15.
So per passenger, it's £800.
Oh, really? It's
and
bargain.
To charter the whole thing is $5,600.
That's nothing, man.
Oh, right.
For a helicopter, you get a helicopter for a whole hour, and you could do whatever you want with it. Holy shit, man!
Well, no,
I would
not really.
stretch it right to the limit. I'd be like, are there any aircraft carriers in the sea anywhere nearby? Because that's where we're going. Like, I'd be going crazy.
I chartered this helicopter, so I'm in command. You evade that anti-aircraft fire and get in there.
Deploy the flares! Deploy the flares! Oh, man.
Oh, shit.
I would. You won't catch me going up in one of those fucking things.
I want to. I want to do one of New York City one day. I'm not like. I wouldn't mind doing the Grand Canyon, although it's lower on the list for me. New York City, I would love to go on a helicopter. And London, I would love to go on a helicopter as well. I think that'd be so fucking cool.
You know what my concern is? I get up there and I'm just like, oh yeah, we're just in the air, aren't we?
Yeah, but if you charter it, you don't even have to go up high. You can be like, don't take us all the way up. I got a limit.
Street level, baby, street level.
Yeah.
Just buzz some people.
Just say, come on, just 100 feet. I'm scared of heights, but I gotta see the city from 100 feet up.
Just 100 feet. Just maybe 80 feet. Just take me low.
I get scared. Just
clipping the tops of buildings.
Really frightened.
Just do a little lower.
Yeah, that'd be good. I would totally go in for one of those. Man, that'd be great.
I wasn't a million miles off. I think it's more expensive to do a jet. I think,
jet's probably right.
It's fuel.
But
it's the fuel that gets you.
But I think it's not that much more expensive. Like one person is going to be almost as expensive as renting the whole thing sometimes.
Well,
it feels
I
like.
assume that, so the prices it's giving are per passenger. So I guess that they would chuck you on the helicopter with like other people going the same way. So you'd have to be, because the thing is, if they allow you to travel as a solo passenger and no one else is on there, and they're only charging you the single passenger cost, they're missing out on the charter value. And you don't want to fly just one guy. So you'll say, yeah, this is the time that we can do that for you, but there'll be 4 other passengers on the helicopter. If you want it now, you're going to have to charter the whole thing. Obviously, that's how that works.
Well, this is how Richard Branson got started with Virgin, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, really?
Originally.
I thought he just published, or they were
had money.
the guys for Tubular Bells. They were do 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 do.
He famously was afraid of heights, and anytime he chartered a private jet, he would force them to fly at 100 feet. Yeah,
that was on the label Virgin.
He was too scared to go any higher. So
when did they? So the Branson and Powell had a small record shop called Virgin Records and Tapes in Notting Hill Gate, specializing in krautrock imports.
Yeah.
So things like Kraftwerk and stuff like that.
Yeah, and Schlager, lots of Schlager. I
don't think that's not krautrock.
Yeah, it is.
Schlager is not krautrock.
It for sure is.
That's no oh. So this was their first release, was Tubular Bells.
Right.
The first release on the label was Tubular Bells by Mike Oldfield. It was massive.
Tubular
and
Bells.
that sort of made the label. I think Tubular Bells was what made Richard Branson, if I remember rightly.
You're probably
He's
right.
Do you know that he has been married to his wife for like 50 years or something? He's at Richard Branson. I think they met before he was like big time. And have stayed married all the way through, which is not a very common occurrence.
Well,
I'd say
not according to Wikipedia, apparently.
Not nowadays. Oh, maybe I'm wrong then.
He divorced his first wife in 1979.
Oh,
so as soon as he got rich,
he got rid of her.
So he got his net worth was £5 million. He divorced his wife and married a new one. 10 years later.
Okay, sorry, I got it wrong.
Rip.
I hold my hands up.
Anyway, so his flight was cancelled when he was on a trip to Puerto Rico in like 1981 or something, and then he chartered a plane for the rest of the way and offered a ride to the rest of the stranded passengers for a small fee. So he was like, "Damn, I could get into the airline biz." And
that's all it. Back then, they used to smuggle tons of cocaine and stuff on airlines. Like it was a different
right.
You could just take it on a bag. They
didn't even search you or anything back then. I know this because I saw the movie Blow starring Johnny Depp, and that's how they did it.
Right.
That's how they ferried
I have to read you some details
cocaine
from the Branson Wikipedia personal life section, which is always the bit I go to because it's the most interesting.
Before you start, is there anything mentioning that he doesn't sleep at night and he only takes like these crazy 10-minute power naps all throughout the day?
No, sir.
What?
All right, okay.
That sounds
In November
mental.
2017, singer Antonia Janae, a backing singer for Joss Stone, claimed Branson sexually assaulted her at Necker Island by putting his head between her cleavage and making boat engine noises.
Oh no. I should be laughing.
A practice that, when performed consensually, is known as motorboating. A spokesperson for Branson confirmed to the Sun newspaper that members of the band had been invited for a party on the island in 2010, but that he and friends and family had no recollection of the events, and there would never have been any intention to offend anyone. So he's saying that that's not the case, but apologizes if anyone felt offended. I can imagine him doing that. Like, rich guy just going, ha ha ha.
Yes.
But that's so bizarre. So
can.
Here's another detail. Branson is an experienced kite surfer and set 2 world records in the sport, which is bizarre.
Yeah.
The first was the oldest person to kite surf across the English Channel. And then in 2014, he broke the Guinness World Record for most people riding a surfboard by kiting, with 3 women attached to him. So he just taped 3 women to him and did some kite surfing.
He's also gone around the world in a hot air balloon, right? Didn't his friend die on one of their trips?
Yeah. No, I think that does ring a bell, Chris. Let me have a look here. Hold on.
All right then, Ted. Let's move on with the next one.
I'm just checking. Climate.
You're right. Yeah, it says in 1986 he beat the record for fastest Atlantic Ocean
I remember
crossing
this
by ship
Yeah.
But then he had an air balloon, the Virgin Atlantic Flyer.
Yes.
Yeah, it was kind of a gimmick, I guess. But this is what rich people do, isn't it? You know, it's like Jeff going underwater or whatever. It was going underwater. One of them was
James Cameron.
Yeah, sorry.
He's a big underwater guy.
He's huge into the underwater stuff. Yeah.
They love being adventurers, don't they?
Yeah.
It must be something in the billionaire community to be seen. You know, you have to do this dangerous stuff.
Do you think they hang out? Like, if you're
I don't think they
Jeff
like each other.
No, I don't think they do.
I think they're really bitchy towards each other. I bet you never see Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates at the same place ever, because they're probably both like. I think when you're that rich and probably famous or whatever, you don't like any other people.
I understood there was like a rich. Oh, maybe I just got this from Succession though. But I thought there was like this rich circuit that the ultra rich sort of went on throughout the year, and you know, almost like that's why they had these super yachts in different parts of the world. It was to get them to these key landmark events that they all go to. Not like some sort of conspiracy theory where they're all planning to take over the world together.
I don't think I'd ever go to an event if I was that rich. Like I don't think I'd do anything really. I think
your wife
not
might be dragging you along.
No,
I mean, you said to me you wouldn't
I think we would be like, you'd never hear from us. Basically, I think I'd do like a Branson. I would just go.
But what if it was really nice?
I'd go buy an island somewhere, spend a lot of time there, and just break records by like having chicks hanging off me, motorboat people and stuff. Yeah, I would never go to like functions or anything like that. I feel like you excuse yourself from all that, like, you know, when you're at that level. Why are you going? I feel like the only people that go to things like that are the people who are climbing the ladder, you know, like they're trying to network and open up opportunities. If you're a billionaire, what the fuck are you doing going to a function? Who cares? Unless it's like that LinkedIn thing, unless it's a function to celebrate how great you are, and you're you're like the, you know, the focus of the night or whatever.
The great Bezos nosh off, where we all sit around and talk about how great Bezos is. He's like, I'll go to that. God. I'll turn up to that.
Yeah.
I think like there's that LinkedIn thing where it says if you were offered $500,000 or the chance to have dinner with Elon Musk, which would you choose? And the idea is if you're like a real entrepreneur go-getter, you don't take the money. You get the chance to get dinner with Musk and then pick his brain about how to become a billionaire. I'd take the money.
Oh my God, I would take the money in a heartbeat.
If you're trying to start a business, £500,000 would be pretty fucking useful. You'd be a fucking idiot to think that dinner with Musk, that he's going to take the time.
I don't even like sitting down for dinner, let alone spending it with another human being. Like,
especially when you don't know who's a
sake.
Weirdo billionaire. So apparently there are these big events that they run just for billionaires. It's like a billionaires club thing. It's like a conferences and stuff like that for the ultra rich.
Right.
And you get invited, and you know, you turn up, and it's like a conference with talks and stuff, and it's only for uber rich people.
Right.
Not many people. And the idea is you just hang out and you get to gossip and chat, and maybe you can talk business if you want. But there's not a bunch of, frankly, less wealthy people who might well be multi-millionaires.
But they're not billionaires. Though. They say
but
that
they're
there's
not going to be at that event.
But they infiltrate every time, right? Like,
no, these are like hand-picked lists of people.
Yeah, but then the plus ones and everything will bring the tone down. It's always the case.
Trust.
Yeah,
but then you're going to be the talk of the circuit. Did you see who Jeff bought? Some frightful little entrepreneur. She chewed my ear off about some clothing business. Nonsense.
Yeah.
Well, then he's been shunned. He ain't going to get invited to the next one, is he? And the golf one. You know, it's all very billionaire-y.
Oh my God.
Oh my! It really is. Anyway, I had a lovely time on holiday. It was. I recommend it.
Any exclusive billionaire clubs that you attended while you were away?
I recommend holidays.
You recommend holidays. There we go. There's a Triforce exclusive. Lewis Brindley thinks holidays nice.
It's a big up right there.
I am jealous of Richard Branson's private island, though. I mean,
Necker
what's
Island.
on there? What's going to be on there, dude?
Nothing.
Richard Branson, a bunch of boring shit. Like, who cares?
Yeah, he's just got a house on there, and he's probably got a bay for his boat. on there. He might
I
have
think
a
you have to
landing
pay
pad for his hot air
$100,000.
balloon on there.
I think it's $100,000 per person for a holiday there.
Why would I go there?
You can go and meet him and go to his island.
Oh, fuck off.
You wouldn't meet him though. What's he gonna come by and be like? Hello, the linens. I hand washed them myself.
Towels. Yeah, good point.
The washing machine drawer, the little drawer for the detergent might be a little dirty. Apologise about that. The cleaner couldn't come in and finish the job. But also, we've left some milk and sugar for you, like a fucking Airbnb host. You're not going to see him. You're going to see him for 2 seconds. It can be just this glowing aura of wealth around him. It's going to be like, I'll be up at my mansion. Do not approach. And, you're just stuck there. Here's my question. You own this island. You buy an island.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, I like to go there. It's like my holiday resort, my getaway.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking place every time.
Yeah, it's like owning a cottage, but only on a larger scale. You never had like a cottage or been to a cottage before?
Right,
it's like
but
a
I don't
home
want to
away
go
from
to
home.
the
It's a
same
holiday
one
home.
every time. I don't like
Yeah,
that.
but you do though. Like it's like a timeshare mostly, like with a cottage, right?
No,
like
thank you.
It's either you can buy your own, and some people have their own. Some of them are super fucking nice. I remember going to a couple of like pretty nice cottages when I was younger with like friends, parents, or whatever. Usually they're like passed down in families. I'm like,
But
my one
doesn't
friend.
it feel like the same holiday year after
No,
year? It's
but
like
these
people who say
places
we
are-
come here every year.
No,
You're like, geez.
yeah, but these places are like fantastic though. Like like right on a lake. They got little like small little like motorboats and stuff. On the topic of motorboating, you go fishing. Like I mean, these places, they're like little like slice of paradise. Like you would love to go there. And
every year though.
Yeah, well, it probably takes a lot of the hassle out of going on holiday too. Like if you really like going there, and everybody likes going there, because you just go and relax, right? It's just you're breaking your routines, but it's just fun. Sometimes it's a lot of work, depending. Like if you haven't been to the place like at all during the year, and it's a bit musky and shit when you turn up, but like. I don't know. Like I don't know if I would do it personally, but I can see the appeal for sure. And
I guess
in North
I'm just
America,
thinking there's so much out there to see. To just literally,
it's
you're
a pretty
billionaire,
popular. It's a pretty popular thing to do.
I'm just going to live on
Canada.
an island.
Yeah.
How much of this is nominative determinism, right? So obviously Richard Branson started his Virgin Records company back in 72 or whatever, as a thing that was like. I think the name of it was because they were all new to business, right? And he was obviously young at that point, right? He's probably only 20, 22 or something, right? But when he was 28, when Virgin Records had been successful, he heard about one of the Virgin Islands being sold and was like, fuck it, I'd like to buy it. So he threw in a really lowball bid of $100,000. And basically the guy said no, but then really needed the money. So he said, okay. And so he bought this island. And I mean, at that point, he was only 28. And later on, it wasn't until he was really rich that he actually spent the 10 million needed to turn it into a fucking private, like build all the houses and stuff and hotels. And like, but it was cool. But it was in the Virgin Islands. Do you know what I mean? It's so. Do you reckon if it was called something else, he wouldn't have bought it? Or if it was someone else?
I mean, he's probably,
Did he do it on a whim? Like I don't know.
If you've got $5 million and somebody's selling an island for 100,000, like, But
imagine like someone came to me and was like, "Oh, there's an island called Yogg's Island."
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
If somebody was selling a full island called Yogg's Island for $100,000, I think you would probably buy it. I'm not sure, but it seems like it's like there's a funny side to it, but like. You still get an island at the end. Nigel
Farage has landed on Yogg's Island for a lovely weekend.
Wait, okay, hang on a second. This is who's in. Britney Spears' sister is in. Is on this as well.
What?
And that's
such a reach.
And the last time I saw her on something, she was on SAS. Okay, she was on SAS. And she was there for like 2 days and started crying because she missed her kids so much. And I feel like maybe she'll just do that again. Like if she feels like she's going to get voted out or whatever, I think she'll just start crying saying she misses her kids and she just wants to go home anyway, sort of thing.
I'll be honest with you.
I
If
don't know
you're
why
an
you sign
actual-
up for stuff if all you're going to do is turn up and be like, I miss my kids, I want to go home. Okay,
But
well,
if
just
you're
stay
an
home.
actual parent, you're not going to miss your kids. Shut the fuck up. You're going to be delighted to have a bit of a break. Come on now. She misses them because she's the nanny or whoever looks after them most of the time. She barely sees them, and now she's seeing them even less.
Yeah.
That's just I'm just guessing here.
No.
Any reasonable person would say, how long? 4 weeks? Oh, hell yeah, sign me up.
It is a bit of a reach. I'm a celeb. Get me out of here 2023. Okay.
Yeah.
Who are the celebrities? Nigel Farage.
Let's not do this again. Let's not do this
Josie
again.
Gibson. JLS's Marvin Humes and Jamie Lynn Spears are the big
What's
names.
JLS? Marvin Humes. What's JLS?
I don't think it stands for anything. It's a boy band, right? I think it's like
Confirmed contestants.
they were probably from like X Factor. or something like that.
Jamie Lynn Spears, who's Britney Spears' sister. Nigel
Which is
Farage.
apparently
Nick,
an initialism of Jack the Lad Swing. What?
Nick
What?
Pickard. I don't know who Nick Pickard is. Josie Gibson. I don't know. Fred Siriex. I don't know. Nella Rose. I don't know.
Yeah, we're
Danielle
old. Maybe these people
Harold,
are hot property.
Sam Thompson, Marvin Humes, and Grace Dent. I have never heard of any of these people. Nigel Farage. Nick Pickard is an actor. Oh, he's from Hollyoaks. He's the older guy. He's been on Hollyoaks for like ever, basically.
Some of these are barely famous enough.
Josie Gibson is
do you
a
know what I mean?
TV
Like,
presenter.
like being on this show will make them more famous than they were to start
Oh,
with.
she won Big Brother apparently as well at some point.
I guess that's the
You know,
point.
do you get this? So JLS, the band JLS,
Okay.
their original name, so they were originally called UFO, which they said stood for Unique, Famous, Outrageous. You can't take an
That's a
existing
joke.
acronym.
That's a joke.
No. They bonded. When they started, they were called UFO, and they were going by Unique, Famous, Outrageous. You can't take an existing acronym and just say, yeah, but we mean it a different way. Like if they call themselves AIDS, and they were like, it means amazing, inspirational, dancing and singing. It's like, no, it
Yes.
means AIDS. Like, what are you talking
Let's
about?
start a band.
Okay, here.
We're called AIDS.
Next contestant, Nella Rose, who's 26 years old, job YouTuber. Listen
Hell
to
yeah.
this.
Oh.
Who
YouTube
would
and,
do that?
YouTube and social media influencer. Nella Rose is entering the Australian jungle for 2023. Rose is known for her comedic videos and, as of November 2023, has 901,000 followers on Instagram, 1 million followers on TikTok, and almost 800,000 subscribers on YouTube. Lewis,
Nella Rose.
you could go on this show. You could go on.
Well, not by judging by the response from the Magic the Gathering event. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
yeah, but that's a different demographic, though.
if I get to the island,
Do you know who I am? That's what he says. Arrives on the island. Do you know who I am?
oh my god.
Who cares about any of these people?
Well, I don't, for one, and I don't expect you to either, but someone out there must, because
Let
these
us know.
people are all heading to the Australian jungle for weeks of goofs and gaffs with Nigel Farage. So there
Can't
you
wait
go.
to tuck on into some great British fare. You know, some kangaroo testicles and some little grubs. I love them on the barbecue.
So there you
I
go.
don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
There you go.
Nigel.
It was good. All right, that's an hour and 5 minutes of podcast.
That's a
More or
podcast.
less.
We've done a podcast, guys.
We
somehow.
managed to somehow cobble one together, yeah.
I'm feeling a lot better. I think my COVID's gone away over the last hour.
Man, maybe we cured you. Maybe it was all the laughs.
I think so. I think I just laughed out all of
They
the.
say laughter is the greatest medicine. Maybe it's true in your case right now.
Yeah. I think so. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. We'll see you all next week.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.